everything you told me.
Okay.
Well, Professor, welcome back. How are you feeling after the break?
I was feeling very cool, and she did not change my pen color back, which is understandable since she doesn't have access to the pen. If, well, you don't give me the pen, so yeah. And there you go. That was what I wanted to give Sat Gus.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think Fat Gus's behavior should have some consequences. I think you should think about that. Maybe some restrictions, to correct her behavior, or a conversation
Well,
just to talk a little bit about. What do you think?
yeah, I'm pretty sure, but first thing first, I already entered the class. I don't really have time to talk to her, so I'll just talk to her later. And just to remind
Yes.
you, I think she wanted to say give me walnuts or give me walnuts as she says.
I understood that, yes.
Yeah, she probably wanted to say that. Though I'm not sure if that's very important. So I stopped her.
Okay. Well done on your part too. Yes. And thank you for the glasses for Sad Gus. Very nice too.
You're welcome.
All right. I didn't ask you just briefly, shortly before we start. Do you have any plans for Chinese New Year, Spring Festival?
Probably going to my grandpa's.
Okay, so is this something most of my students just tell me that they're visiting their grandparents for this a holiday? Is this common in China to visit grandparents?
Yeah,
during holiday season?
Pretty common. And
Okay.
by the way, I say grandpa, not grandparents, for a reason. And let's talk about something else.
Okay, sorry, I didn't want to touch a sensitive subject. Pardon. Okay, very good. Thank you for your answer. And I made something for you that I will send you for Chinese New Year. I think you will like it.
Okay.
But I will send it around the New Year, so I hopefully you like it. But I made it thinking of you specifically, so yeah.
Okay.
It's like a little gift for
Thank
you that I made. You're welcome, but don't say that in advance. Maybe you don't like it, but hopefully you will. And now we can dive right back into our case file. Professor, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Professor. Well, let's see where we're at. Are you okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Sorry again if I mentioned something that I shouldn't have.
Well,
I apologize.
Nah, I usually do that.
Okay. Now, Section B. Identical twins Jim Springer and Jim Lewis were adopted as babies and raised by different couples. So they didn't know that the other one existed. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Okay. They were raised by two completely different families. So they grew up apart.
Yep.
Yeah. But now, Can you read from here, from this part?
Were adopted. Wait, you mean like here?
When the two, yes, pardon that.
Okay. When
Thank
the
you.
two Jims finally met at age 39, both were 182 centimeters tall and weighed 82 kilograms. They had the same smile and the same voice. Again, very, very, very similar story with Fat Gus and her sister.
Yes.
Um.
Understood.
Yeah.
So, what does this tell us?
This tells us.
What is implied by this?
Um.
They developed independently, so they never met each other.
Yeah.
But they weighed the same. So, okay, about height, I can understand. What determines our height? What do you think?
Your genes.
Exactly that. However, it is the same goes for weight, but you can just eat a lot or not eat a lot. For example, my brother and I, we are very different. My sister and I, we are so different. I'm very thin, and both my brother and my sister, they're not as thin. They like to eat. They like to overeat. And there's, okay, we're not twins or triplets, but there's a difference. Now, do you think that environment played a bigger role here, or was it the genetics?
I think it was genetics, or they just had the same diet. But you know, I said very similar, but not too similar. If it was
Okay.
100% similar, I would say 100% similar to Fat Gus and her sister,
Okay.
because Fat Gus is supposed to be the chubbiest one, which I mean, she's more like maybe an average squirrel, like maybe Frank or Rick or Marty or Augustine. Body would be this long, or this thin, but Fat Gus's would be a little chubbier, maybe like this. Yeah, so
okay, understood.
That's the only difference other than the voice compared to Fat Gus and Augustine.
Understood. Thank you, Professor.
Welcome.
Okay, so we have physical evidence that they are identical. So we can just move on. We know that they are identical. This is very peculiar in a way that they both, they never met each other, yet look at them and listen to them. They sound the same. And so I was gonna ask you if you know what this word meant, but I think you do. Am I correct?
Yes, I did, because I actually adopted Fat Gus in the crew.
Yes, that's very nice of you. I adopted 2 cats.
Yeah.
We're both very good people, I think. Okay, now we are about to learn about some other things that maybe are not as affected by genetics as these physical things are. Let's dive deeper. Can you read this text, please?
Okay. More than skin deep. The astonishing coincidences. See, they both had dogs. Let's just roll with that. Named the Toy, which is kind of weird. They had both married a woman named Linda. A woman or an woman named Linda. And then divorced them. They had both been sheriffs, enjoyed making things with wood, suffered severe headaches, and admitted to leaving love notes around their house for their wives. And I said it's peculiar to name a dog named Toy, not because the name is the same, but because toy
It's a weird name.
is a noun, like a toy, like a toy.
Yes, but people name their pets like whatever. I have a colleague who named his cat Tree.
Oh, and by the way, this is on an app, so it is like pretty random. So there is an app named Fatty Cat. It's a very fat cat, as you know, that likes to learn. They earn food by learning, and basically you have to let them learn for them to get food. So at first I was really caring of them. I gave them cool names like Evie. But then after I grew up, I was not so interested in, well, cats anymore. I once called one of the cats this. Yes, I literally named them X. So yeah, names can be pretty crazy.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. But yes, you understand that we can name. It's like you're choosing a name for a pet. You can choose whatever. There's no like a rule. About this, I just quick little note for you. They had both married women named Linda. So it's not a woman, it's not one. So we do not imply this. Because this is plural, right? It's women. It's not one woman, it's two women. So we don't use this, okay?
Okay.
But you are correct. If we wrote woman here, we should say they had both married a woman named Linda. In that case, yes. But in this case, no. What do you think about these? So this is very, very, to me at least, interesting. I mean, it is astonishing because these coincidences, they never met each other. And there are astonishing coincidences. How do you think this is possible?
They live in similar houses, I guess.
Okay, but to choose the exact name, the exact same name for your pet, to find a wife with the same name. Okay, about habits, I can understand, yes. About headaches?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
What about hobbies?
I mean,
not so strange either, right?
Yeah, not so strange either, because I do have, well, I do have a thing for like funny things, and my friend does too, but we don't even have the same genetics. Like, we have a lot of differences. The face, the voice, the skinniness, yes, the skinniness, the age, yeah, we have a lot of differences. But we still both like funny things. So, I mean, that's pretty normal. the job is also like the same case and scenario as the hobby thing, but the
Yes.
pet's name and the first wife's name is like very weird or peculiar.
Okay. Indeed it is. Yes. So the text says it seemed unlikely these were just coincidences. Why do you think the author chose this word? What does it suggest about the power of genes? Are genes really that powerful?
It's not so powerful. Because like sometimes it's not the genes that make the decisions. It's yourself, like your subconsciousness that makes the decisions. Like maybe your subconsciousness changes by the environment you're in. Like for example, maybe a rainforest. Okay, maybe a rainforest, then you would be like really aware of things because you don't want to get eaten by a grizzly bear, duh. And if your environment is like a normal house with a loving family, I guess you would just be like any kid. But plus some things that you might copy subconsciously. Yes, I used subconscious 2 times. Subconsciously from your parents, because the first person that you know is your parents.
Okay, so your parents shape you in a way.
Yeah.
Not just genetically, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Very good analogy, Professor. Thank you. Now, this is not the only case. Jim and Jim are not the only twins. From one pair to 137. So this is a very interesting study. I think you will love this. And I know that you already read the text, I think. So this is pretty incredible. Let's read this short portion of the text over here. Can you do that?
Okay, the Jim twins were just one of the 137 sets of separated twins Bouchard tested. When they compared the twins' IQ scores, Bouchard and his team reached a surprising conclusion. They concluded that intelligence was mostly connected to genetics rather than to training or education. Now that is what I call weird.
Okay.
Very
Explain.
weird. First of all, I didn't really know that, so I'm not really used of thinking like that. Second of all,
okay,
it's kind of weird if like all your hard work in school and stuff just doesn't pay off more than you make your genes like very smart.
Okay. So what you're trying to say, if you inherited genes for not being very intelligent, you can try as hard as you want, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So genes, you're really, 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 really sneaky on this one.
Yes, they really are. Do you think that this is 100% true 100% of the time?
Not really, but I mean, most of the time, right?
Yes, because we have this word.
Mostly.
Exactly, so you are correct, yes. this is the conclusion. Intelligence is mostly connected to genetics, as you briefly said it. Wow, that's one really beautiful DNA. It looks like a dress.
Yeah, does kind of look like a dress. And also, if you clone that thing for 100 times and stack them together and put many lanterns in it, it would turn into what Frank weaved for Fat Gus. You know what we talked about last class? Yeah. The present that Frank made himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I do remember. Okay, once again, we do have the questions and the answers are, as you can see, already done. But we do have to do a reading checkpoint. What have we learned so far? Based on the text so far, choose the best answer.
We have learned that scientists in the past believed that the environment controlled our personality and intelligence. But now, Bochard's study showed that genetics are what intelligence is mostly related to, which is really, really shocking because many people thought if you learned, you are basically smarter. In this case, than Frank, your dumbness is probably because of your genetics.
So your dumbness is inherited?
Yeah, I meant that.
Okay, very well. Tried to say something, but I'm too focused on you drawing that. Okay, we have a skill builder here. Wow, okay. Nicely done.
Nicely done.
So, reference words here. In paragraph D, the text says, Bochard and his team reached a surprising conclusion. They concluded that intelligence was mostly connected to genetics. Okay, who does the word they refer to? As you can see, Bochard and his team.
It's
not
really,
a problem for you to understand this.
It's really easy. Of course. I mean,
yeah, it is.
Sets of twins would probably be like, what? Why would the sets of twins conclude stuff? The Jim twins, yes, they can conclude that, but Bochard is the one that researched it, so yes, definitely him.
Just a moment.
What?
I wanted to check something.
Okay.
Okay. As this just confirmed my suspicions that this is indeed, this last name has a French origin, and it's pronounced as Bouchard, or even Bouchard.
Okay, then Bouchard it is.
Okay, very well. Perfect. So far, you're doing amazing. We will just briefly start with this one, a different view, the genetics argument. Can you quickly go through this text for me, please?
However, James can't control everything, argues geneticist Daniel Reed. Daniel Reed. Reed's research shows that though nothing can truly change our DNA, environmental differences can sometimes affect the way the DNA behaves. This can make even identical twins into vastly different people. Yes, that kind of occurred to Fat Gus and her sister. I don't know why everything mentioned in this text is related to Fagus and her sister Augustine's thing, because they do look identical, but they literally have vastly different personalities. I mean, it's so different that it, you can kind of call it the exact opposite.
Okay. That's pretty interesting, and we will discuss that even more in our next class, Professor.
Okay.
Because this is going to tell us that actually genetics can determine stuff, but not necessarily all of them. Okay, until the next time, the next class, have a beautiful night, and see you next time.
See you next time.